women. So we're here. Thanks to Kathy and Bob over at Circles of Wisdom. And so I know Kathy, you want to say a couple things before we blast off here?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I'm Kathy Nealon, one of the owners of Circles of Wisdom. My husband Bob's here too. He's one of Linda's biggest fans. And one of the positives to come out of COVID is that we can have these events now and connect with people from all over the country and all over the world. So it's really cool, in addition to our in-store events, to have these online events too. And it's our first time hosting Linda online, but I looked back today and I saw that it was 2009 was the first time we hosted you, yes, right when the first book came out. So almost 12 years ago. And we've hosted Linda in our store, in hotels, and at retreat centers. And it's always a treat. We love her so much. We love her energy and how she engages with the students in such an authentic way. So, and we want to congratulate you, Linda, on the release of your 4th book.
Thank you.
Inspired Manifesting. And you can get it on our website, circlesofwisdom.com, and for either shipping or store pickup. And we'll address some of the questions.
Oh my gosh. Hey, thanks, Kathy. Are we ready? I'm so excited. I see everybody's putting there. Good. We've got Lori in Salem. April's in New York. Okay, everybody. Okay, Noreen. Doris is in Maine, but she's going to visit Chicago. All right. Get ready for anything, Doris. Anyway, it's really wonderful to be here. And a very special thanks to Kathy and Bob from Circles, because one of their wonderful qualities, and I know you guys know this, is that they are so gracious, and I always feel at home with them. And I travel a lot, and so when there's that home connection, that sense of the familial, it's really special. It's not only is it sacred, but it's special. And so it's great to be here with Kathy and Bob. And I haven't been out there for a few years, which I'm sad, but we don't know what's coming. Wonderful things are coming, as we all know. So I was thinking about tonight, right? And we have like 90 minutes. And in this 90 minutes, of course, I want to do everything because I tend to be a little ambitious, but we're going to do the best we can. Okay. I want to share some guided practices with you. I also want to talk to you about some of the really exciting ideas that have been revealed to me in my work in the records. And then, of course, I want to read a little snippet. Every time I talk about the book, I always think, what is my favorite part of the book today? And every time it's different. So I was reflecting this afternoon, and I hope the short passage I've selected touches you as much as it touched me. I do want to let you know that at Kathy and Bob's store at Circle, one of a very select group, the Elite Certified Teachers, Patty Collinsworth teaches there. Patty is a fabulous teacher. She's wonderful. She's warm. She's smart as the Dickens. She knows the work, and she has the patience of at least 4 or 5 saints all rolled together. But the thing about Patty is Patty has the longest running study group for the Pathway Prayer process in the world. Okay, I used to say in the country, but now the work is it's like galloping globally. And so I do want you to know that if you're interested in the work, and you want to you want to be with somebody local, right? Patty is your person, and I would go to her, and I send my friends to her, so and I'm very protective of my friends. Anyway, so there we have it. The game plan, briefly, right? The game plan is we are here to really celebrate the release of my 4th book, Inspired Manifesting. Elevate your energy and ignite your dreams through the Akashic Records. Anyway, so this is what we're here to celebrate. And, it's interesting. It's I want to say like 800 things about the book, but instead, why don't we turn our attention just for a minute to a centering meditation? So if you would join me by closing your eyes and opening your awareness, all right? And take your place wherever you are. You're all somewhere. I know that. You've been chatting in, right? Where you are. Yes. Okay. You want to take your place right here, right now. And let yourself consider that who you are as a person is a very particular space where the heavens and the earth intersect. They meet within you differently than they meet within me or anybody else who's with us. Wonderful. Wonderful. Mhm. And who you are as a person is an optimal, top of the line, really, human instrument for the transmission of the highest light and love. Right. To your world and even beyond. Good. Now, if you would direct your attention inward, right, to your own center, your own core. And at the center of your being, there is a reservoir of infinite, eternal light. It is a light that is pure, it is clear, and it is in perfect balance. It is light that is simultaneously radiant and magnetic. So let's take a moment to be mindful of this radiance. Keep your attention in your center. Good. As the light streams from you, you don't have to push, right? You don't have to push it out there. You don't have to send it. You don't have to force it. It is in the nature of the light to radiate itself, to extend itself through you, the person, beyond your skin, and out, in front, behind, on both sides. Light emanating from you. Good. Through you, yeah, your community, your world. These are like streams of light, ribbons of light, really, just flowing from you, keeping your attention in the center, the light, pouring forth from you to the north, the south, the east, the west, following the natural curves of the earth, right? Over bodies of water, vast tracts of land and fields, up over mountains, dipping into valleys, through deserts and jungles. These streams of light encircling the globe. And as the light pours forth from you, it naturally encounters ribbons of light streaming forth from others in our group. People you know, people you may never meet. However, there is a shared awareness that we all have. And when the light from me encounters that ribbon of light from you, there is a moment of recognition. It really is a quickening. It's very exciting. It's light, recognizing light. And so, these streams of light encircle the globe, and after about, it's the halfway mark, 51% around the earth, the other side, wherever it is from you, yeah? And on its way back, the light is drawn due to its natural magnetic property. The light is drawn back to you. And on its way, it brings back, it returns, it really delivers to you anything and everything you need to bring your soul's purposes to life. And so we stand as points of light within an infinite field of light. It is a light that is alive, it is active, and each one of us has a role to play in the intersections, the crossroads, first of the heavens and the earth, and second, between ourselves and others. And we stand in the recognition that we are indeed related to one another in ways we enjoy and in ways that are so mysterious to us. Excellent. And from this place, we begin our work. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. When you're ready, open your eyes and come into the room. All right. Okay. So, all right. I feel like, okay, I'm done. Now I have to go eat a box of chocolate. Anyway, listen. But before I do that, I do want to talk to you guys a little bit. A lot of you are old friends. As you can tell from the chat, it's really nice. We have some old friends, but I also am hopeful because it seems like we have some new friends as well. And for those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Linda Howe. I'm the leading international expert in the field of Akashic studies, Akashic records for personal growth and transformation. And as you may have already detected, I am not a scientist. So if you came for the science talk, I don't know, go home, go watch TV. I'm sure something good is on. Anyway, I'm not a scientist, but I do know, I'll tell you what I do know a lot about. This is my life work. I've been working in the records since 1994 exclusively. I don't do anything else. Everything is interesting to me, but the only thing I trust, because it's so reliable, is the Akashic record using the pathway prayer process. And so, it's also what's so fascinating is, when I first came in the record, the awareness came to me, right? The idea that this is an infinite spiritual resource. I thought, yeah. I thought, I know what that is. I want you to know I had no idea what that was, right? Because I've just finished my fourth book, which really, and I've started my fifth. Do you understand? This is really, let's talk about an infinite spiritual resource and a path that just keeps unfolding, much to my delight, surprise, and wonder. This is my work, right? This is what I do. I don't do the Akashic records and other things. And I know a lot of people who do, and they're able to help a lot of people. I'm so easily distracted. It's better one thing, right? Keep focused on one thing. I think the big secret, if there's a secret, I don't know if it's a secret, but I'll tell you what the key is, that our awareness, our personal awareness and understanding of our soul's purposes, that itself is the opening, right? That's the gateway to a path of prosperous living and manifesting. So it's our awareness and understanding of our soul's purposes. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. All right. Briefly, the Akashic Record is a vibrational archive of every soul and its journey. Okay, now here's the thing about this. Because it's vibrational, that means it's invisible. We never see the record. I am so sorry about that. I wanted the big cosmic library. I wanted golden books. I wanted Indian leaves with my story. No, it's vibrational. So we don't see the record, but we can feel it, right? And we talk about it, it's vibrational, so we can feel it, but the way we normally feel it is like by emotion, right? That's what we're looking for. Vibrational archive. So it's a collection of every soul. Everybody's in it. No one's going to throw you out. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you don't do. You cannot be evicted from the record. You cannot be erased. Good news, right? Bad news, we cannot erase your ex. I don't care how much money you want to pay me. It cannot be done. I have tried. It doesn't work. Everybody's in. That's what makes up the record. Okay. Vibration of every soul and its journey is human. So listen, perhaps you were an alien. I don't know. You don't know either, right? We don't know. However, that information is not in the Akashic Record. It is also not in the record. I don't know, maybe in your last life you were a bunny rabbit. And if you're going to be an animal, that's a good animal to be. I would be a greyhound myself. But anyway, that's another story. But listen, the Akashic Record does not address things like that. What if you were an animal? Are you going to be an animal? It doesn't even talk about that. It's about the soul's journey as human. Okay, very, very important. There's two parts to everybody's records. Okay, the first part is we used to talk about it as the blueprint of the soul, right? The problem is blueprint, we think we're going to see a drawing, like an architectural drawing. It does not happen. It is an impression. At the inception of the soul, there is an impression from the ultimate reality of life. It is made into the raw material of your soul, and it's who you are destined. It's your destination, really, who you are destined to become over the course of many lifetimes, right? It's tremendous, tremendous. So that's the fixed part. It's permanent, doesn't change, and it's good. We don't want it to change. The second part is the evolving part of the record. And that is, it's like the chronicles of you, right? It is the collection of the stories you live through which you become aware of your ultimate destiny, right? And, for those of us, listen, if you're here, you've been awakening for a long time. I mean, this is not news to you, right? But so it takes many, many lifetimes, and it's wonderful, right? Because this is all in the Akashic Record. So that's what it is. It is a spiritual resource. Okay. So it's not a deity. So don't worry. You never have to pray to the record. Thank God. Right? It's not another God that we have to please and, carry on. You don't have to do that. It is a spiritual resource. It is energetically, it is made of love, right? Love and light. It's this pure light. I think the best description is that it is the Akashic record itself is the energetic connective tissue from the soul to the source, right? So there's something that keeps us connected to the source. Are we the source? No, right? But we're always connected to it. And so it's the Akashic record that does that. So when we talk about Akashic prosperity, what we're really talking about is the fulfillment of our soul's purposes. When we work in the record, it's purposes plural, which is good news. I mean, very few people come here to do one thing. And the ones who are here to do one thing, I don't know how long they last. Most of us, especially in these times in history, come with big lists, very big to-do lists, right? Now, collectively, it is true that there is one shared soul's purpose that we all have. And that is to love ourselves, others, and all of creation unconditionally. Okay, now what's very interesting is that when you think about, well, what's the role of the individual, right? I mean, most of us are Americans. We understand that's a big question for us. What about the individual? But the truth is that even though we all have a shared purposes, individually, we are exploring the unique individual ways through which we experience and express love. And it's different for all of us, right? And that is the great challenge. All right. The Akashic approach, as you can imagine, is vast, right? Because it spans all our lifetimes, all our incarnations. It is based on unconditional love and respect. The other thing that's important about the Akashic perspective is that every individual, no matter what thoughts or opinions we have about ourselves and our contributions, everyone's participation and contribution is valuable and has a place. Okay, so no matter what, I mean, you can even have low self-esteem and make a contribution. You can be a complete lunatic. You can have, I think about people like Albert Einstein. Einstein was, first of all, he didn't know how to dress. He had a terrible haircut. And I'm sure nobody wanted to eat lunch with him. I think, would I want to eat lunch with Albert? No, I'd be like, get that creepy guy away from me. And he was probably talking to himself all the time. And yet he was able to get past his imperfections enough to make a contribution that has changed our lives. And it is the same is true for each one of us. I mean, if you look at all the people who've done great things, or even just the people who have done things that have really touched you in very meaningful ways, none of them are perfect. And so the spiritual journey is not about perfection. It's about usefulness, right? It's discovering our unique usefulness and the ways in which we can make a difference, a positive difference for ourselves and others, even though we're not perfect. It's amazing. Okay. I mean, it's amazing to me. I don't know about you guys. All right. I want to talk to you about 10 clues to your soul's purposes. I don't know if you guys have read the book yet, but here's the thing. The 10 clues. When I first started working in the record and working with people, there was some confusion because we all thought that soul's purposes were like outside of us, some fantastic thing. And I mean, I really thought that some extraterrestrial being was going to come and knock on my door and say, here's your soul's purposes, Lynn. It has not gone that way. That being has yet to knock. Anyway, the truth of the matter is our soul's purposes are a natural part of us, right? They are a natural part of us. And especially for women, my observation is women are very quick to minimize themselves, right? And to say, oh, it doesn't matter, right? But what we have to offer does matter. even if we don't think it does. I say, if you want to find out, what your contribution is, you might want to be the last person you ask. Ask your friends first. They'll tell you, right? They will tell you what you have to offer. Anyway, so let's talk about soul's purposes. They're a natural part of us. They are often misidentified, but they're sometimes a secret, but they're not that mysterious, right? First of all, when it's your soul's purpose, you want to do it. Okay. Now, my soul's purpose is not to be an accountant. And do you know how I know that? Because I don't want to do it. I just don't want, I don't even want to balance my own checkbook. Do you know what I'm saying? I am not that person. So we can be pretty clear that that's not my soul's purpose. But with it, when it's your soul's purpose, you actually are interested. You want to do what has to be done. Number 2 is you have some natural ability, right? This really helps. I'm not an Olympic swimmer. Do you know why? First of all, I don't like to swim that much. Second of all, I don't have the talent. I am not, forget it. I know other people who are natural swimmers, right? But see, when it's your soul's purpose, you have the talent and you're able to do what needs to be done. Okay. Number 3, you actually enjoy the process, even when it's hard. I'll tell you something. In my work, I've written a few books. I have a doctorate. It goes on and on. It's very exciting. I teach all over the world. I teach in places that are not so comfortable, right? Mainland China, it's not a pleasure cruise always. It's just not, right? It's really China. Okay, but here's the thing. I actually enjoy it, even though sometimes I'm uncomfortable. I enjoy writing books, even though I'm inconvenienced. Sometimes I don't go to the movie because I'm writing something. Okay, it's okay. I'm happy to do that. Sometimes my friends have had it with me, but it's okay with me, right? This is the thing about our soul's purposes, that we are happy to do it, even when it's a pain in the butt. We always, no exceptions, we always have enough energy and resources to take the next step. Now, listen, when I first started working in the records, I did not have a computer. And right now I'm sitting here, I've got a setup it blows my mind, right? I'm not even sure how it all works. Doesn't matter. But do you see, I did not need this setup in 1994. What I needed then was I needed business cards. I had enough money for business cards, right? That was it. And so we always have enough resources, ideas, time, money, talent to take the next step, not to take all of our steps. No one can do, our life work always takes a lifetime. It is not a weekend seminar. I'm sorry to say, but it's not, right? It really takes a lifetime to get our life work done. And we always have enough for the next step. We don't have enough for what's coming down the road, but we don't need it today. We only need what we need. Okay, the next one is number 5. You're clear about the experience of the destination and flexible about how it happens, right? So I have always had this sense, and I have to tell you, I don't even know how I have this. I've always had this sense that the Akashic record, that there was a grid of light enveloping the globe, right? There's a grid of light, and the Akashic record is being shared by people all over the world. I have had no idea how the heck that's going to happen. But I want you to know, like, I just finished a teacher training of Chinese speakers. We have 47 new Chinese speaking teachers. That is like, oh my God. Okay. And next week we start Russia. I'm like, what's up with that? How is this happening? I'm not sure. Truly, I don't know. But I'm in because I have had this awareness that The Akashic record is a layer of light that envelops the world. Anyway, okay, next, perfection is not required. Okay, so if there's a God, let's thank the God for that, right? Because you don't have to be perfect. You just have to do what's yours to do because nobody else can do it like you. It's just impossible. I can't do your part for you, and you can't do my part for me. Okay. And don't worry about being perfect because it just doesn't matter. Okay. Number 7 is the work. Your work, what you're here to do is meaningful to you. It has value for you, whether or not anybody else supports it, approves, appreciates, right? None of that matters. Is it nice? Of course it's nice. We all want people to say, "Oh, honey, you're doing a nice job." But they may not. They may look at you like, what are you doing? Huh? Don't explain it again, right? Whatever it is. But see, there's something about it. You understand there's something that you keep going. Okay. And because you trust in our next step, right? You trust that there's something greater at work, that life is working on your behalf, which it always is. Life is always working on our behalf. Okay. So next we have that we begin where we are with what we have. We accept assistance as needed. And might I say, from people who can actually help us. We don't want help from people who can't help. People who say they can help, people who wish they could help. No, this is not about, it's about who can actually help us. Big difference, right? We're willing to continue alone if we have to, right? We're willing to do that. And we're not so worried like how much money it's going to cost or when we're going to be finished. Okay, because I have to tell you something. My first book came out when I was 55 years old. Now, I thought I should have been done by 40. Do you know what I'm saying? It never occurred to me that was the starting line. And I'm in. I'm in, guys. I'm in big time. And it costs a lot of money. Bringing our soul's purposes to life. I don't know if you've noticed this, but life on this planet costs money. It's not personal. It's not a moral issue. It just costs money. And sometimes we make financial mistakes and sometimes we buy silly things. It's all right. It's all right. So, go easy on yourself. Okay. And finally, you love yourself no matter the outcome. See, the thing about soul's purposes is that if you don't go for it, like what I know, because I have at intervals thought, oh, forget this Akashic thing. This is goofy, right? But then, what happens? Like all this self-loathing kicks up. And I don't want to be myself and whatever. Everything's wrong, blah, blah, blah. So my observation is the only way I can be in harmony with who I am is to let myself explore the Akashic record using the pathway prayer process. Because when I do, somehow life is better. Does this make sense to me? No, this is goofy, but it's just the way it is. Okay, next, I want to talk to you about obstructions, dun, 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 obstacles. Okay, sometimes these are people. I don't know about you. Do you know my mother? My mother actually died. I think it was like 8 years ago today. My mother died. I'm going to tell you something. The last couple months of this woman's life, she was like, she wanted me to go into advertising, right? And like graphics. I'm like, Mom, I have no, first of all, please don't make me do that. And second of all, I don't have that talent. I have mastered the stick figure, but that's about it, guys. Anyway, so it's like, did my mother love me? Of course my mother loved me. But my mother had a plan for me. And I wanted to please her. And my desire to please my mother got in my way, as you can imagine. Right? So you want to look at at your relationships with people and how maybe you have taken on their dreams for you. And I don't know, maybe they're your dreams, maybe they're not. So the thing about our soul's purposes is they persist. They live within us in times when they're impossible, in times when, no matter who's around us, right? Sometimes we hide them away from ourselves to safeguard them, and that's all right. From an Akashic perspective, we want to remember that we always allow ourselves to have what we recognize as good for us or beneficial for us. Okay. So if I think it's dangerous to pursue the Akashic record, I will make sure, because I love myself, I want to protect myself. I will make sure that I don't pursue the Akashic record, right? So the more we understand that our obstacles and obstructions, whether circumstances or people, are really kind of like a distorted but valuable effort to take care of ourselves, to love ourselves. At that point, as we begin to accept and appreciate these obstacles, things get better. So, in the face of challenges and obstructions, we want to ask ourselves some really helpful questions like, how do I love and respect myself in the middle of this mess? Whatever the mess is. Sometimes we have financial messes, we have health messes. There's all kinds of messes, right? How do I love myself in the middle of this mess when when really I don't even know how I got here? One of my favorites as a perfectionist is, how do I love and respect myself when I don't meet my own standards? I mean, my whole second book is about that, but it really is important because, I have standards, I have ideals, and, a lot of times I cannot live up to them. How do I love myself then? I think I think a power question for me is, what can I do today with what I have? What can I do? Because I'll tell you something. I can tell you a lot of things I'll do tomorrow when things are different and I have more energy, more money, more time, blah, blah, right? But what about today, right? Today, with what feels to me often like inadequate or puny resources, what can I do with this? That's the question. Okay. I think the ultimate solution for obstacles that I have found is is to really accept and appreciate the obstacles, right? Even when I don't like them, even when I don't like or understand them, right? What happens as we're working in the records is we stop fighting, right? The war is over. Put the gun down, right? We stop fighting with life. And when we do that, sometimes I say to myself, I know this is good for me. I have no idea how it's good for me. Maybe I'll find out later, right? And at that point, that is what frees us up. Energetically, we're all seeking greater freedom, right? And we know that the more we resist, condemn, slam things with our negative opinions, the more they stick to us. And in order to increase our freedom, acceptance, emotional acceptance is the forerunner. It ignites release. So the more we can accept and allow, I don't mean approve and like, that's not what but to say this is the way it is, right? The more I can say this is the way it is, and for the moment it's all right, at that point I'm free. And that's really what we're looking for. Okay. So five, I can't even read my own notes, you guys. A few. We don't know how many there are. A few ideas to help you manifest in any and all circumstances, right? So, first, we want to know that manifesting is your natural state. It's your natural state. You're going to manifest no matter what. It's what we do. Even if all I do is go from the couch to the refrigerator and back to the couch, I'm manifesting something. May not be up to my standards, but it's manifesting. The other thing is that our soul's purposes are spiritual. And they have to do with love. You being able to love greater, love yourself, love others, love, love, love. And I'm not talking about smarmy, you know, I'm talking about real that experience of love, oh, real appreciation, like, oh, yeah. The other thing is that we are in a co-creative partnership, right, with the divine. And in a co-creative relationship, both parts have value. Your part has value. The invisible part has value. The human part, your part in the co-creative relationship is essential, or there's no co-creative relationship. The whole thing falls apart. So this is very, very important, okay? That who you are as a person is essential in the equation, okay? Which that came as a shock to me. I thought I was the incidental, or I was like the appendix or something. I was like, oh, no, right? You're the one who actually has to do it. Okay. The other thing that's so fascinating is that when it comes to our soul's purposes, your soul's purposes, your personal purposes, whatever the heck they are exactly what the world needs right now. We are all here by divine appointment. And I know that's a little whatever it is, but it's actually true. Each one of us made the selection to be here on the planet at this time, in the midst of these times of dramatic upheaval and change, right? To be a part of this. And so we all have something that we want to add. We want to contribute. We want to find meaning for ourselves and to share it with others. And of course, you know that money, even with inspired manifestation, money's not the point. If you need money, you will have it. Okay. If you need money to bring your soul's purposes to life, you will have the money. If you don't need money, you don't need it. Some lifetimes we don't need money. Some lifetimes we do. So just calm down. The challenge is if according to the records, the purpose of the soul's journey as human is that we grow into unconditional love for ourselves, others, and all of creation. So any judgments that I have about, oh, I'll love myself if I'm rich, but not if I'm poor, or I'll love myself even more if I'm poor, because, that's holy. And I hate being rich. I mean, whatever it is, any judgments that we have about money and our relationship to it are going to get in the way. The question is, can I love myself when I have some money? Can I love myself when I don't have any money? So the point is not money, because really, some lifetimes you have it, sometimes you don't. It's not the point. We want to go beyond that and see money for what it really is, right? Money is your friend. That's all true. I've read all the books. I know this, right? Money is our friend, but it's a tool. It's not the end game. Okay. Which I want you to know is a shock to me because, I grew up with no money. So I thought the goal was to get some money. Anyway, whatever. The 7 stages of Akashic acceleration, because we're all in a hurry. Are you in a hurry? I'm always in a hurry. I don't know about you guys. I'm always in a hurry. Okay. And that's fine. That is a fine way to be. It tells me I'm alive, right? Life is always about, there's always more. I used to think, oh, I shouldn't want so much. Now I'm like, of course I want a lot. I'm alive, for heaven's sakes. When it's over, I won't, who knows what. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to want more. It's okay to strive. Whatever, it's okay to reach. It's okay to want to go to the end of the horizon and see what's on the other side. Yeah. This is all good. It just means that you're really alive. That's all that means. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong. Okay, now, where am I? Okay, cool. Oh, 7 stages of Akashic acceleration. Okay, listen, this stuff, I love this. The first is awareness, right? Awareness of our true desires. I know in my own case, this is like separating out. I've struggled with people pleasing, approval seeking, all that craziness. Because it kept me alive for centuries. It just, I really wore it out this time. But here's the thing. So it really took me a lot of work and attention to tease out my own what I wanted, not what my parents wanted, not what my spouse wants, not even my son. And my son is now 27 and he's got some ideas for me. And they usually involve that he gets a car. But anyway, that's another story. But the awareness of my own desires, right? Without judgment. And I'll tell you, working in the records, using the pathway prayer, it's very, what do you call it? Emotionally safe. It's non-judgmental, yeah? Governed by the three absolutes: fear not, judge not, resist not. And so it's a very emotionally safe environment. And so it's easier. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm afraid that I'm going to be judged, I shrivel up like a sea enemy. I'm like, I'm not giving it up. But it being in the record, it's like, okay, so, and it's interesting. I've often had this awareness of the Akashic light shining and all of these treasures that my soul has been accumulating for lifetimes, and yours too. The light is shining on them, and we can begin to recognize some of the great truths, the wisdom, the insight that we have been developing for countless lifetimes. It's all in there. I have a friend who always used to say, Linda, the truth's within. If you would just shut up and listen. I'm like, how do I get to it? How, I need a jackhammer to get in, right? First, I have to hit myself in the head with it. Then I have to But the fact of the matter is that in the record, it's like, oh, we can get to the truth without causing harm to ourselves or others. It blows my mind. Okay, so first is awareness. Second is acceptance. This does not mean approval. As it occurs to me, I want to bring the Akashic record to the world. I'll tell you something. There's part of me that thinks that might be about the craziest idea I've had yet. I've had some nutty ideas, but it's like, wait a minute. So it's not about approval. It's about, this is really the way it is. Okay. It's just as is, acceptance. Okay. And allowing, acceptance and allowing like go together. Okay. Next is appreciation. Well, really now, what is that? Appreciation, right? To notice, to be conscious of the positive value of that which, I'm aware of, right? Like, oh, this is my dream. There must be something good about it, or I'd have a different dream, right? Okay, appreciation. Next is appropriate action. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I have certainly noticed this on this planet. It's all about action. If you don't act, and listen, I've done a lot of meditating. I have done more mental aerobics and not lost 1 pound. Okay, it's the way it is. If I want to melt those pounds, I have to go to the class and really physically like lift my arms and legs. I usually leave when they start doing the core work, but that's another story. Anyway, but you see, appropriate action. On this planet, it's about action. This is the place where the spiritual, right, intersects with the material and things happen. Right? That's all this is. This whole plane is a dimension. It's the physical expression of the spiritual. That's what we're doing, right? And we all have a part in it. Action, action, action. Next is assessment. We want to observe and evaluate after the action, not before. I like to figure things out before I do them. The problem is, it doesn't work. You actually have to take the action. Then you can evaluate. Just a helpful hint here from Heloise. Okay, next. So we observe, we evaluate, and then we adjust. Number 6, adjust. Heavens, make adjustments, right? We've all had, listen, I'm short. I'm 5'2", right? Well, I used to be 5'2". I don't know how tall I am. I'll tell you what, though, they don't make jeans in my length. I get the short jeans. I have to hem them, right? That is we call that an adjustment, an alteration. It's not a moral issue. If we have to adjust our dreams, Listen, in Linda's fantasy, I go first to Russia, then to China. It's my fantasy. I get to make it up any way I want. Guess how it's turned out in real life? China first, now Russia. What do I say? I don't want it? No, I say thank you. It's fine. And I go with it. And finally, number 7, allow and enjoy. For a moment, I can set aside my fears, my judgments, my concerns, and just enjoy the way it is. Only for today. I think tomorrow I'm back on the case, but today I will allow it. And when we do that, more comes. The fact of the matter is that we can only manifest as the people we are, right? In the life in which we find ourselves, in the reality of life. See, in my fantasy, we have complete political harmony on the planet, equal distribution of wealth, all this kind of stuff. And then I manifest. Well, it just, can I tell you, it has not gone that way, right? And so there's a dimension that has been revealed to me, very helpful, called the realm of engagement. And it's a space, where our dreams, as we understand them, our dreams, we launch them into the world as the people we are, wherever we are, into the world as it really is. And when we do that, when I do that, when you do that, there's like an alchemical process. It's like, I don't know, I hesitate to use the word, but I'll use it, like a magic, right? Something happens when we allow our dreams to engage with life the way life is. And there's always something far more wonderful than we could ever cook up on our own. So I think that's what all right. So you're getting the picture. I could probably talk for a few days here, but I'll spare us all. Okay. Do you know what I would like to do? I have a little like closing meditation practice I'd like us to do. And then I did want to share, I hope it's all right. I want to share this piece from the book that really touched me today. So but let's take a moment first, and thank you. I know I've been talking nonstop. That's what I do. But thank goodness it's being recorded. And I know you always get what you came for. I don't know what you came for, but I know you're going to get it because it's rigged. The system is rigged. Anyway, so let's take a moment now and close our eyes and open our awareness. Okay. And let yourself become aware of who you are now, right? It's an hour later now, who you are now. And here you stand at the threshold of the moment now. Your soul's purposes, those dreams, hopes, desires living within you that have survived the fires of 2020 are still very much alive within you. Good. So stand in the light as if the spotlight of the moment is on you. And you are the ideal human being to bring your soul's purposes to your life and to the world today. Mm-hmm. Good. Take a moment now, and in your mind's eye, shine the light on what you understand to be your past. Right? whether this life or prior lifetimes. Either way is fine. Let that light shine. And as it does, you may recognize there is a handful of ideas, hopes, wishes, secret desires you have been carrying for decades. Sometimes, looking at the scope of your soul's journey, hundreds and hundreds of years. These dreams have stayed alive within you in good times and difficult times, times of clarity and times of terrible confusion. And you have safeguarded these possibilities, and they are with you at this point in your life. And now, if you would, let the light shine on what you understand to be your future, whether that's next week, next year, 5 years from now. Right. And get a sense of yourself becoming the person, being the individual who honorably acts to express these treasures in your soul. And as you take appropriate action, one action following the next, you become your very best self. The self that is perpetually loving, understanding, patient, kind, appreciative, tranquil, and exuberant. You. There's nothing that could ever happen to interfere with your willingness and your ability to love fully, freely, joyfully. We recognize that the journey of inspired manifesting, expressing our soul's purposes to the best of our ability as we understand them, is the journey of becoming the most loving self we could ever imagine. So for now, we leave this be, returning our attention to the space. We open our eyes and reconnect. Wow, thank you. Thanks so much. So I was thinking about the passage I wanted to share from the book, right? Inspired manifesting. Here, I can't. Oh my God. All right. And if you don't have the book, of course, I think you should get the book, right? Get the book. And Kathy's got them on sale. They're like 20% off. We love a bargain. Get a book. Okay, but listen, I was thinking about, when I first started working, more nationally, after the first book came out in 09, and how Circles of Wisdom was really like a starting place for me, right? And so I thought it was only appropriate that I read the part where we launch into the next stage of our journey, because I always like to bring my latest work to my friends at Circles and experiment and see how it goes. Anyway, but here we go. This is from the book Inspired Manifesting. It's in the end of the book. There's a section called Onward, right? Okay. So, and it doesn't have a page number. Otherwise, I would tell you what it is. So here's what it says. What does inspired manifesting mean in these times? It means that we have an open channel between our minds, hearts, wills, and souls. The blueprint of our soul, our destiny, is embedded within us to be experienced and expressed through us as the people we are at this point in time. Your soul's purposes are important, particular ways for you to activate the infinite, eternal well of love that is the core of your being. These are the pathways to allow that love to flow through you and out into the world. They make us happy, recognizing and acting on these fundamental truths of who we are. If you need money to bring your soul's purposes to life, you'll be able to get it. If you don't need money, you won't have it. Money and material acquisition is not the point. The point is this: how do I ignite the eternal flow of love within me so that I experience it in my everyday life and share it with others? Keep experimenting. Do your part. Don't worry about others. Everyone, without exception, right, is on their own path. And all paths are valuable. Okay? Enjoy yourself and those you encounter. These are the best of times. What inspires you will bless the world, and the whole world is waiting. So join me. Don't be concerned about your human imperfections. Life doesn't hold that against you. This is not a passive lifetime. It is not about perfection or imperfection. It is about discovering your unique usefulness and participating to the best of your ability. The perfect light and love of life uses only imperfect humans. Join us. Trust that as we make our way in the world, in the best way we know how, the light will lead us, guide us, and accompany us. We are never alone. We are all together now, reaching out our hands to one another. Together, we are indeed the light of the world. I'll be looking for you. And when we meet in person, remind me of our amazing Akashic journey and the wonders we discovered together. We'll never have another lifetime like this. So let's enjoy every moment. Much love and many blessings, Linda. So my friends, thank you. I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing tonight. And I'm really thrilled you decided to spend it here with us. So thank you. Do you know our everybody knows Zoom, right? questions, questions, questions. Okay, this is a time, I live for the questions. So, and I hope you do too. So listen, anybody who has questions, now is the time. Okay, because I'm going to be here. Has your perception of the records changed since when you started? Oh my God, Louis Grassi, is that right? Yes, yes. This is a great question. So, well, like I said in the beginning, it's so funny because when I first came in to the records, I was like, oh, I got the awareness, right? This is an infinite spiritual resource. I thought, oh, I get that. I had no idea. I had no idea what that was, right? Because I have to tell you something. I always feel like, I always feel like a beginner with this. It's the wildest thing. So that's the first thing. The other thing is when I first came in, I thought, I was under the influence of a lot of old ideas, right? Real archaic, like ideas. Anyway, they were the best ideas we had, right? I don't know how good anyway, they were what they were. So my expectations were all goofy. I thought, first I thought the records would tell me what to do. Ha, ha, ha. Wrong. They don't, because the records are like, what I learned very quickly in the record is that this was not another spiritual resource that I could use against myself. Do you know? Like the records told me I needed to do this. And then when it doesn't work out, I blame the records. Anyway, the records have always been about, what do you want to do? What's true for you? I'm like, that's much more like relational or interactive than I thought. I really thought there was going to be like some kind of ticker tape that told me what to do. No. The other thing is I also had a lot of confusion about deities. So we had psychic supernatural. I thought I was going to start levitating. I want you to know I have never levitated and I'm pissed about it. Do I thought I could do an end run on being a human being. Anyway, this is not the case. The case is it has actually made me more myself, which I have issues with, but it's all right. So it's a very interesting. The more I've had to set my expectations aside and really be open to what the records are as they reveal themselves to me. I mean, I've absolutely been thrilled and delighted, as you know, but it's been really kind of a shock to me because, again, I was expecting a bunch of tall guys in brown robes with golden books. I have never, listen, I'm in the records a lot. I have never seen one tall guy in a brown robe in the records or outside of the records. And, here in Chicago, that would really be bizarre. Anyway, all right, Louis, I love this question, but it looks like the questions are rolling in. No, you can read. Okay, great. What was the 9th clue? I don't know. Read the book. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Casey. All right, 111 participants. Do. It's always cosmic, isn't it? It's so wild. Thank you all. Okay, Deb wants to know about reading this. No, I'll tell you what. I would read this one. I don't know, do whatever. I'll tell you what to do. You stand in front of the books. You know this, right? And you look at the color, the covers are all different colors. Your choice is either start with the new one, right? This is pretty easy to read. The orange book is the first book. It's very easy. Okay, it's very easy. So I don't know what to tell you. I know it's always good to start at the beginning, especially, I don't know about you, but I hate to think I'm a beginner at anything. I like to go to the advanced, even if I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, somebody is in New York. April's in New York. You can learn how to read the records, honey. There are classes. I have a school. Do you know that? The Linda Howe Center for Akashic Studies. It's really a great school. And Patty's one of our teachers. So there's a lot of different ways you can learn. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Make sure you get yourself good education. Because the records, being able to work in the records is secular people like us, this is new. Like when I first came in the records, it was secret society. I mean, it was, we felt very special. It was gross. But anyway, but that's the way it was. But the fact of the matter is, it's very important that you have good teaching. So be sure to put yourself in a class with a certified teacher. Okay. So that you know that what you're getting is true and not a bunch of ridiculousness that you will ultimately fail at. Okay. And I tell you that because I know what it's like to be on the path, to be stumbling around and hoping to find some help. And, you hear some goofy stuff. Anyway, so that would be, so April, there are classes. You could probably talk to Kathy. She'll tell you when Patty's doing classes at Circles. And, you can do these online. This is why we're alive right now, right? Christina's at, she wanted to share, okay. How do we really start loving ourselves? Practice. Here's the thing. This is a great question, Christine. Here's the thing. To open up what your idea of love is, can I be kind to myself even though I'm a knucklehead? You want to start, can I love myself even though I don't love myself? I like that one. You want to begin to play around with this. Like, what does that even mean? Okay. I used to think that loving myself meant a good haircut and manicure. I'm down with a good haircut. I like a good haircut. And I like a good manicure, even though I haven't had one in a year and a half. But that's not the point. But the point is, it's that sentiment. Like, chances are very good, Christine, that you're really like wonderful to your friends. So you want to extend to yourself the same sentiment. So it's not the idea of love, it's the emotion of like, oh, honey, it's okay. You're just a person. Of course. My second book on healing is really helpful for that. My family, let's just say my family was not thrilled. But I'll tell you, that's an understatement. My mother is saying prayers for her wayward daughter. I mean, these people are Catholic, right? I mean, very religious people, wonderful people. I love my parents, but I got to tell you, this pretty much, it was like, oh, you are really pushing it. But at one point, my father pulled me over, and he was really old school. He pulled me over. He says, I don't know what you're doing, but I think it might be good. So keep doing it. I thought, hot dog, I'll take it. That was it. Anyway, I mean, the stories I could tell are, if they weren't real, they would be funny. I mean, but you know what? It's okay. They don't have to get it. They don't want what I have. They do not care. They wish I would have gotten a regular job with health insurance. And, some days I think that myself. Okay. Container, yes. Where I have no idea. This is an interesting question, Chris, about where are non-human records stored. I have no idea. If you were a bunny or an alien, I have no idea. Because you know what? This stuff I don't know. Here's my opinion. I have a lot of them, but one of them is knowing that I was a bunny rabbit or a moose in a past life does not make it easier for me to love myself or others. It doesn't make it easier for me to function. Knowing that I'm from the planet Smelfin, from a certain galaxy, a star seed group, and Linda is not my real name, it's just my earthly name. This is not helpful to me. None of that is helpful. First of all, I don't believe half of it. And the other half, I believe, is just glamorous. And, I do love the glamorous life, but it's not helpful. It doesn't make it easier to pay taxes. It doesn't make it easier to wash the dishes, to walk the dog, to be a good neighbor. So I don't really care. You can read, just if you're reading a pregnant woman, you read the pregnant woman. That's all right. I don't know what to say. It's just the person. Great. Thank you, Casey. All right. Natalie and Jennifer, there's a situation about having awakening, right? A situation that's caused immense pain. I'll tell you what, sweetheart, Natalie, honey, balance, not my strong suit. It's not my strong suit. I figure it's okay. So I don't really know what to say. I do know there are times where we experience tremendous pain. tremendous pain and suffering. And the question is, can I love myself even though I'm in the middle of this shitstorm? Can I be kind to myself even though I don't understand this, when none of it makes sense, when I cannot be who I wish I was? Can I be decent to myself anyway? Begin there. You want to notice that whatever happens, right? Whatever happens to you, right? Nothing has ever happened to snuff out the light that is the core of your being. Like there's nothing anyone could do to you, and there's nothing you can do to anyone else. It is an energetic impossibility to extinguish the light that is the core of your being. Okay, so that's where I would begin. And just be nice to yourself, even though things are really, really hard. Because sometimes life is really hard, and there's no way around it other than to be nice to yourself, even though it's hard. So that's where I would like to begin. Teacher trainings. April, honey, teacher training is online. Teacher training is online. And if you're interested, go, I have a website, lindahowe.com. You can go there and find out about the teacher training. It's all online. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you do, we connect, but you can do it all online from anywhere in the world. Okay. And if you have questions, we can certainly answer those later. But take a look at that. All right, sweetie? The Akashic Records change your life. I know, isn't that? Listen, the Akashic Record changed my life too. And I'm not I don't go for that. I don't want to have to give credit to anything, but it's actually true. Okay, that's wonderful. Who is that? Gerlind. Okay. Victoria, honey, I don't understand. Are there different access points to the records? You used a different prayer. I don't know what prayer you used. I'll tell you what I do know. This is a very interesting question, Victoria, because I was given this particular prayer, the pathway prayer process. It's what I teach. I share it globally. It's not a secret, right? And the curriculum that has been revealed to me goes with this prayer. Okay, that's what I know. I know sometimes people come and they say they're trying to do this work with some other prayer, but I don't know what to say about that. I don't know other prayers. I don't use other prayers. I only do this. Okay, so if you have an access that you like, that you think is good for you, go to the teacher and tell them what you want, right? Tell them what you want. And if they can help you, I'm sure they will. Anybody who's a teacher is doing it because they really want to be helpful. So talk to whoever your teacher is, because there's no way I can say anything about any other prayers because I don't know them. The records surprised me. Lynn, boo-boo, I'll tell you what surprises me. Do you want to hear? This is hilarious, Lynn. So I'm thinking to myself, 4 books, blah, blah, maybe I'm done, right? This is what I think. That's how I think. I always think I'm done. I'm going to get there and then I'll be done. Then I'll have arrived. Then I'll whatever. And so, don't you know, I'm tinkering around my records. And it's like, there's this whole area of life you haven't explored, Linda. And I'm like, well, what do you know? So I'm very excited because I'm, it's like infinity. You know about infinity or eternity, whatever it is. You go to the edge or what you think is going to be the edge. And then there's a little tilt. And there is a horizon that is so vast you can't even take it in. And so in my experience, I make my way over the grid such that it is. And I get to what I think is the end. And you know what happens? It tilts again. And it just keeps happening. So I'll let you know. When it's over. Patty is the best, right? Louie says Patty's the best. Yes. And she does have a class. Thanks, Kath. Good. Thank you. Amy Mack is amazing. Amy Mack is fabulous. Listen, I'll tell you something. The people who are elite certified teachers, there's only a handful. There are other teachers. I've trained a lot of people, which is good. It's good to have people, but the people who are elite certified teachers, this is a very select handful of people who are exceptional in their ability to engage with the Akasha and students simultaneously, to be able to extend the consciousness of the records to their students and to respect their students all at the same time. It is, it's like it blows my mind. So if you get a chance to work with any of them, do that. Is the soul purpose and soul level truth the same? I don't know about that. Soul's purposes, first of all, there's more than one purpose. Keep that in mind. The soul's purposes live at the level of the soul level truth, right? The core of our being. So it's where they live, but it's more specific, is the way I would like to say it. It's more like the unique individual ways through which we experience and express love. That's the way I would think about that. How do we know if our past lives are true? The same way we know if anything is true, Susie. Do you know what I mean? It's like if somebody says something to you and you're like, that's bull. You just know. Every one of you has a natural truth detector in you. And when someone tells you a past life, you're either, that is the most ridiculous thing I've had people tell me about past lives they think I've had. I'm like, God, I wish I had that past life. I have no idea what they're talking about, right? So I mean, that's the only way we know. The only way we know is that we are the ones, you are the one who knows your own truth. Okay, there's no Akashic reader who knows your truth better than you. The only thing is, the Akashic reader has temporary ability to speak what's actually true within you, and then, but for the purpose of accelerating your own awareness, not for them. It's for you. Okay, I love you guys. Diana, you're digging those audibles, huh? Aren't they great? The last training was theta healing. Is Akashic the one modality? Akasha is the only one I do. It's the only one. I'll tell you what, it has been reliable. It has been trustworthy. Okay. And it makes a lot of sense to me. And it has never asked me to be something that I'm not. And that's what I like about the records. I know there's a lot of wonderful healing systems out there. I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what to say. There was a secret. There are many secret societies. Yes. That's cool. I got it. Vanessa, I know. Isn't that something? All right, cool. All right. I think, are we all healers? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. First of all, I don't know what a healer is. From an Akashic standpoint, that's a whole class. It's really one of my favorites. But the fact is, you want to take a look. We're talking about spiritual healing, right? Spiritual healing, transforming our understanding and our perception of our experiences. Okay. That's all healing is. I mean, that's a big deal. Okay, because we get so entrenched in our ideas. So it's very, very interesting. But are we all healers? I think we all have the capacity if we want to. I mean, if this is the lifetime where, every lifetime is different. Some lifetimes we're here to sit on the couch and maybe eat some fried chicken, and watch Judge Judy, even though she retired. But do you understand? There are lifetimes like this, whatever. At some point, in the journey of every soul, we will have a lifetime where we recognize there is more happening than meets the eye. And in that lifetime, we have within us the potential to change the way we see things, the way we understand things, be it ourselves or others. And that is the launching pad for our conscious growth into unconditional love of ourselves, others, and all of creation, which is, from an Akashic standpoint, the universal soul's purpose. And so that's how it goes. It's a wonderful, wonderful question. All right, listen, you guys, this is all for today. I love you. I am just thrilled that you made time to be here tonight. I look forward to seeing you sometime. When all is said and done, I'm going to get on an airplane again. I'm going to come out there and visit all my friends at Circles of Wisdom, and we will have a wonderful, wonderful time together. And, I always like to bring my latest, most exploratory work to my friends at Circles. So buckle up. And in the meantime, read book 4, get it 20% off. Dun, dun, dun. Talk to Kathy, okay? And get the book and send me emails. I love you. I'll talk to you at the perfect time. Thank you for everything. Good night.